Talk to me, to me.
Hello there, and welcome to Purpose Wednesday. I'm Latasha Morgan, certified Christian life coach, certified professional life coach, board certified master Christian mental health coach, and a whole lot of other goodies, y'all. We have a special Purpose Wednesday tonight. And you know, on Purpose Wednesdays, we normally cover purpose, right? So today we have Austra, make sure I say your name right. Austra Putnina.
Yeah, Austra Putnina, but I usually say as long as I respond, I'm happy.
Welcome, Austra, to the majestic. Oh my goodness. Welcome to Purpose Wednesday. Are you doing well today?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm blessed. Pe- now we're going to be discussing purpose regarding transforming your mindset for purpose, right? So we're gonna just get into this conversation. This is the first time I'm having someone on Purpose Wednesday. Normally I do them myself. But last week we finished our series on the kingdom mindset, living out your purpose. Okay. So I wanted to have a guest to come on and talk about that particular subject with me. So Austria, tell everyone what you do.
Okay, similar to you, I do a lot of things. One of them is coaching. I do mindset and resilience coaching. Currently, I mainly focus on athletes. And in general, I work a lot with high performers, people that are driven, ambitious, and want to get more out of life. And I'm also a podcaster. I have a podcast called Chase the Impossible where I get guests on. We discover and talk about a lot of topics around self development, growth, how you get better. And that's me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now we know the importance of mindset, but people don't know what the importance of shifting your mindset is. Could you tell us what that is like?
I want to say my first thought was hard, but I think better answer might be it's a process
Mhm.
because I think a lot of times we want to go from A to B, but it takes steps, it takes process, and a lot of times that journey might not be the one that we initially anticipated or thought that, oh,
Mhm.
this is the journey for me. So I think something that helps a lot is walking that journey with curiosity instead of judgment. Because a lot of times we start to judge, we start to be hard on ourselves when things don't go right or the way we would want them to go. And I think that is something that even as you are about to enter that journey, be mindful that you might catch yourself being like criticizing yourself or not being
Mhm.
happy with where you are. But that's when it helps remind yourself it's fine, it's the journey and it's my journey, and with each setback, each mistake, that's where you can actually learn. And I think something that can help to, because purpose is a big word,
Mhm.
it's a powerful word, but also a lot of times people don't really know what their purpose is, or they might not be clear, because there are
Mhm.
some people who know that's my purpose, that's what I'm about. Somebody else is like, I don't really know. If you don't know, again, curiosity, go and explore. Whatever you feel like, I might be drawn to this. I'm curious to try this out. Try it out, see how it goes, and try enough things to get perspective of what you like, what you don't like, what you prefer, what you don't. And through that, you will also learn yourself better and you will become more confident with the things that you do try, because there's many things that I have done that on paper it doesn't make sense. Like last year I did half Ironman, which I gave myself 90 days to train for it, and it's an
Mm.
endurance triathlon. And it took me during those 90 days, I would train like 20 hours a week. I spent a lot of time just dedicated towards training. Is that something I want to have career in? No. Is that something that I aspire to now have to do like as my like for the rest of my life? Not really. I did it for self exploration. So a lot of the times I think it's just about being curious and following wherever you feel like you're being led to, and trust that inner knowing that I might not have the answer right now, but as long as I'm taking the steps, I'm trying new things, I'm learning new things, the doors will open and the answers will unravel themselves to you.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, if I'm a person who's stuck, I don't know my purpose, and I'm working on discovering it, but I don't feel worthy of that call that I know I have in my life. I have an idea of what my purpose could be, but again, I don't feel like I'm worthy to do that. What are some steps we can take to shift our mindset so that we can feel worthy of operating in our purpose?
I think one thing could be even adjusting the expectation, because you can, and I have experienced this a lot of times. I'm like, I don't think I deserve this, I don't think I'm good enough, like those thoughts that
Mm-hmm.
still come up. I'm not immune to them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what can help is shifting that perspective of I don't have to feel worthy to do it. I can
Right.
still do it while I feel certain way, because really at the end of the day it comes down to what you do. And I think we have this assumption that I have to feel ready, I have to feel fully aligned before I can go and do it, and that's how I know that that's my thing. But for me,
Mm-hmm.
it was like years of just like stumbling and feeling like I don't know if this my thing, is that my thing, like I don't know if I'm good enough, am I actually good enough, and I still have those thoughts or feelings at times. But now I'm in a place where I don't allow it to stop me, or to stop me from taking certain actions
Mm-hmm.
that can bring me more results. So I think partly it could be adjusting that expectation that you need to feel worthy, you need to feel ready before you do something. Because also, good example is confidence. You gain confidence by doing, because it's sometimes we think like, oh, I need to feel confident enough before I start to do it, but actually you gain confidence by doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you do it, the better you become, the more confident you feel. So it kind of feels contradicting, because it's like I want to feel confident before I do it, but a lot of times it's the other way around. And in some ways it's the same with the worthiness. Is if you're focusing on all the reasons why you're not worthy, maybe they're true, maybe they're not, but what you can do is go take action, build skills, build experience. And as you do that, you will start to see your worthiness through those experiences, through those skills that you build, where you start to see, oh, I can offer this, I can do this, and I can also do this based on what I have done so far. So a lot of times it's something that I often say, commit before you're ready. And also you don't need to feel ready before you do something, because when you feel ready, that's where you're back in your comfort zone again. And growth happens usually outside of the comfort zone, which doesn't feel good.
Absolutely, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't feel good at all. But it's worth it at the end. It's so if I'm someone who feel like it's too late for me to operate in my purpose, and that's my mindset right now, how do I change that?
That's a really good question. I think one thing that can help is to remind yourself that, well, I actually always say, well, like I have example. I had one client who said that she would want to dance. And she was like, well, but it's too late. I'm too old. I think she was like 40 years old. And I was like, says who?
Mm-hmm.
Says who that you're too old to go and pursue your thing? Says who? Who said that? And I think a lot of times we don't really have answers to that. We just assume, well, it's too late. I don't have time. You're here, you're alive, so you do have time. And you can do whatever you want with the time that you have. So why not go pursue something that you feel called to do? There's no such, and we all also have different timelines. It doesn't mean that now, like we see a lot of online, the young like 20-year-old entrepreneurs who become millionaires. If you're in your 40s and you feel behind, it it just shows that you're on your own journey. You have your own path to go, and by doing that, you might inspire somebody else who is in similar situation to go and do the same thing. Because it's kind of how you can lead by example. But I think it's something that again, it might feel like it's easier said than done, but I don't believe that it's ever too late to go pursue something that makes you feel alive, makes you feel energized, and you feel called to do. Because then, at the very least, as you're pursuing it, that's where you can avoid having regrets because you actually went for it. You actually did it instead of now, let's say 5, 10 years go by and you look back and you're like, ah, I regret it. I wish I actually went and did it, which sometimes I actually use for my decision making. If I need to make a decision about doing something or not doing something, I ask myself, which decision will I regret more? And then I just, based on that, I make my decision to make sure that I can, because it's like, okay, I can go the perfect route or I can go a route that if I don't go, I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna regret not making that choice. So I might as well go make that choice and see what happens. Again, entering with curiosity. I
Mhm.
wonder if, and it's also, you want to question it. It's like, if you think it's too late for me, is it actually too late? Can you find somebody who has done it starting at your age and find proof that there actually are people who have done it? So by default, it's not too late because there's already somebody who did it. They just didn't allow that story to hold them back. And you can believe it's too late and still go do it anyways.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's absolutely right. Thank you so much, Austria. Are there any last words that you would like to leave our viewers tonight?
I think a lot of it is to trust the process, trust the journey, and just remember that we each have different timelines, different backgrounds and experiences and things we need to overcome to get to a certain point. So a lot of times it's having compassion towards yourself, being understanding that it's my journey and just trust that whatever you feel is right for you, go and do that and trust yourself.
Awesome. So, if anyone wants to get in contact with you, how can they do that?
They can find me online. For the most part, if they will look for my name, they're probably going to find me, or they can check out my website, which is austraputnina.com. My name, that surname.com.
All right. Thank you so much, Austra, for being on the show today. We really appreciate you staying up way past time. It's 8 o'clock where you are in Estonia. So again, thank you so much for being on Purpose Wednesday. And everyone out there in viewerland, listen. You've heard it straight from Austria Pania. Listen, you can shift your mindset for purpose. It's never too late to operate in purpose. And if you don't know what your purpose is, go out there and discover it. Have a nice night and thank you so much for watching Purpose Wednesday. I'll see you next week.
Talk to me, to me.